Can you start a garden for absolutely nothing? Well, that's today's challenge. Visit a garden centre and you might think you'd have to spend a small fortune to get started. Well, today I'm going to try and source everything needed to do so without spending a penny, just using my own resourcefulness and maybe a little shameless begging, blagging and bartering too. Impossible? Let's find out. Every garden is built on really good soil, and to have a truly thriving vegetable garden will need some sort of organic matter. That could be compost or, for example, well-rotted manure. Many councils or municipalities actually give away compost for free, so long as you're able to go and collect it yourself. It's usually made from green waste that's collected and is a perfectly good start. Do ask though before setting out. Alas, where I am, there's no such free resource, but I do know someone who keeps horses and has been kind enough to offer me some of that lovely, nutrient-rich muck, so long as I come and collect it myself. But first things first, I realise I haven't actually brought anything to collect it with, so I hope there's some sort of shovel or something. Well, lucky me, they did have a little fork to hand, and stables and family farms are often really happy for you to come and collect manure, because it's often quite a bit of a nuisance for them, and if you're happy to collect it, they're usually very happy to give this stuff away. And my goodness, it might not smell $1 million, but this is lovely, sweet, crumbly stuff. It's sweet reward for a little effort on your part. Now, clearly this stuff is great. If you look at it, it's got a beautiful crumbly texture. It's clearly been stacked and maturing away for several months, so it's good to use straight away. But if it's really fresh stuff, just make sure you stack it when you get it back into the garden and let it rot down for a few months before using it. And do just ask to check that the animals that have produced this stuff haven't been grazing anywhere where there's been herbicides used, because that could affect your potential crop. Now let me show you where we'll be starting this garden. Some of this area has already been cultivated, but we're going to push it out by a few feet here by covering up this grass here. Now I'm not using any expensive membrane or really hard graft to dig it over, nothing like that. Instead, I'm just going to lay over a few layers of plain brown cardboard, and that'll kill off the grass beneath. And now for the manure. Now this is going to be spread to a couple of inches depth or so, and it's going to have a few months to kind of settle down, because we're not going to be planting until spring, and that will give plenty of time for the grass beneath to die off. Now, as we go along with creating our garden, I will be sharing the costs of everything in both US dollars and Great British pounds. And I'll be showing the cost to me versus what you'd normally expect to pay for everything. And as you can see from this table, with the manure, we are off to a pretty strong start. You can't have a garden without seeds and plants, but they can take up quite a chunk of the gardening budget. The good news is they needn't. Here are some bean seeds I saved last summer. And saving your own seed is a really good tip for saving money once you get started. But if you're just starting out, you could try getting seeds for free from local seed swaps. Gardeners always have too many seeds and are always happy to share. You could even try your local library, many of which have a seed library. And let me show you something. This packet of lettuce seeds here has, look at that, approximately 1,000 seeds. Now, I don't know many gardeners who grow 100 lettuces in a summer, let alone 1,000. So ask keen gardening friends if you can just have a little pinch of those well-filled seed packets. I think you'll find they'll be thrilled to help. You could also try putting a call out on your local community page on Facebook, for example, to see what horticultural gems turn up. Don't be shy about asking. People are usually only too happy to share, and you can always offer them something in return, say some preserves made from some of the gardening goodies that you grow. And then take a look at this seed packet here. It's an allotment or vegetable garden starter pack. It costs under $5, but in it you get 5 separate packets. We've got salad onions, lettuce, beets or beetroot, radish and carrots, all for under $5. A small investment can get you started very well. Another in the know trick is to grow veggies from kitchen scraps.
Not all supermarket produce is viable, but garlic cloves and seeds from things like dried beans and tomatoes and certain squashes often sprout beautifully. And it's also very easy to grow herbs from cuttings, taken from supermarket packs like this, and I'll include a link to a video on how to do that in the description below.
Here, for example, I've got a bag of chilies, themselves reduced in price to around 25 pence or 30 cents. And if I bust open the packet and cut one of these lovely ripe chilies open, there you go. There's plenty of seeds here which I can pick out and sow. We'll be starting these seeds off in a moment. Now, because I'm going to be eating the chilli, these seeds have cost me effectively nothing. So let's see where we're at with our seed and plant costs. Now, I've just plundered the recycling pile here to find some things that we can use for sowing or planting into. There's no point buying new pots and spending good money. We can get things for free. So I've got a selection, hello Rosie, a selection of things like fruit trays and punnets, yogurt pots would be good, noodle pots even old coffee cups. Just make sure you take the time to spear some drainage holes into the bottom of them if they don't already have them. Another great source of second-hand pots would be garden centres, nurseries, or try online classifieds from the likes of Gumtree, FreeCycle or Craigslist. You can often pick up pots for pennies or even nothing at all, as people often just want shot of them. Now, to fill my pots I need some sort of potting mix. Let's see if I can blag some from my long-suffering neighbour Trevor. Now, he's usually around in the garden, so hopefully we can nab some. Trevor? Oh, you're right there. Fantastic. I don't suppose you got any potting mix I can have?
No problem at all.
Are you sure? Oh, what a gentleman. We're in. Cheers for this, Trevor. You're a long-suffering neighbour, but we appreciate you.
No problem.
So this is a really great start potting mix-wise. I've managed to blag half a bucket load or more here from Trevor. But to make it go a bit further, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix in this beautiful crumbly leaf mould here. Now, this stuff I've made myself simply by piling up leaves and leaving them to rot down over a year or two. And leaf mould is a lovely inert kind of material that's perfect for sowing seeds into. So I can use this to mix up with my potting mix to make it go a little bit further. And if you would like to see a video on how to make leaf mould, then I'll pop a link to it down below. Right, I've got my chilli seeds out. Now I am going to sow them. So I'm just going to space them nice and evenly over the top, maybe in this pot this size, maybe kind of 6 or 7 seeds. And then after covering them over, just very carefully with the water here to get them going. Chilies like it nice and toasty to germinate. And as we haven't got a propagator yet, what I'm going to be doing is covering them with just some clear plastic like this. This will raise the humidity and create a more kind of cosy environment for those chilli seeds to germinate, which they will like. As I said, chilies like it nice and toasty warm to germinate. Now, we're not going to be using a heated propagator, just a warm windowsill like this near a heat source. They'll take maybe a few more days to germinate, but I'll still get them coming up in good time, and I'll have little chili pepper seedlings completely free, which is my kind of price. And I'll be making the rest of my sowings, including my saved bean seeds, over the next few weeks as temperatures warm up. Once the growing season gets underway, I'll need my own supports for my beans that I'm growing and potentially other free vegetables like tomatoes. And a clump like this of bamboo that I have in my garden is ideal for a free supply of lovely bamboo cane supports. This type here is a clump forming variety which stays nice and neat and doesn't take over, and it just regenerates year after year those lovely free supports. And what about a supply of soft plant-friendly ties? Well, something like old socks are perfect. These are nice and stretchy, very forgiving, and we can just cut them down into simple strips and use those to tie our plants to their supports. This is a great way of using up maybe holey socks or less than trendy t-shirts that are a bit worn out perhaps. Nothing goes to waste and it's all free. One other thing that will help our crops come summer is some sort of mulch. That's something that's just laid over the soil surface to help keep weeds down and lock in valuable soil moisture. And there's nothing freer and more readily available than your own grass clippings. These will help to shade the soil and keep things nice and cool, and as they rot down, add fertility too. Completely free. Another option is just dried autumn leaves laid over the surface, 100% natural and free. With soil prepped, seedlings soon underway, plant supports and the like already sourced, there's not much more we need to get us over the finishing line to harvest time, although some gardening tools might help. But before we get onto those, let's take a look at the latest situation to see how much our latest gardening goodies set us back. We don't need many tools to get started, but we do need as a minimum some sort of digging fork so I'm not spreading compost or manure around with my hands again, as well as either a hand fork or trowel for planting plants and for just general weeding. That's our minimum, so let's see what we can do. Now, I put out a call on Facebook to see if any of my friends have any old tools lurking at the back of their shed that I might be able to have, and someone has messaged me back. We're in luck. Now, it feels a bit cheeky nabbing something for nothing like this, but I'll be sure to share some of my harvests later on. Hello, I come to collect the fork.
Yes.
Ah, super. Oh, thank you. And are you sure about the rake?
Absolutely.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much.
You're
I really
very
appreciate that. Wonderful. Thank you. Well, I am well and truly thrilled with this. I've got this fork here, which is as good as new, really. And they've even thrown in a rake. And then there's this lovely hand fork here, which can just be straightened out pretty easily. But I'm pretty much on my way with these tools here. I'll also need a watering can later on in the season to keep my garden happy, but in the meantime I can make an impromptu one by just using an old plastic bottle and then spiking holes into the lid, like this. And here's the finished result. That's not bad, is it? Now, old plastic bottles have so many uses, and if you'd like a video on all the other uses that you can have for this little thing here, I will pop a link to a video on that down below. Now, we get plenty of rain in the winter, but in the summer it can be a completely different matter, and plants love natural rainwater to grow really healthy. So I'm going to try and find some sort of water barrel to collect some of this winter rain now while it's falling to use later in the summer for our garden. If you don't have a car to collect a water barrel, by the way, it may be worth checking with your local water authority, as some promote water conservation by giving them away for free.
And would you believe it, on a dog walk I managed to find this guttering here, just being thrown out. Absolutely perfect for setting up my new water barrel.
Right, let's take a moment to see where we're at. We've got some basic but pretty fab tools, as well as a means of collecting rainwater and applying it. And I'd say that's us done. The foundations of a new garden underway, and all that we need to grow and tend it safely acquired. So let's just summarise what we've spent to get us to this very promising point. I haven't quite managed to get the garden started for absolutely zero cost, but come on, we almost did it. A new vegetable garden, tools, soil amendments, seeds and sundries, all in for the same price as a couple of beers. I'd say I'm pretty pleased with that. To be fair, I absolutely love free stuff, and something else you can bag for free is a 7-day trial of our garden planner, which will help you to maximise the potential of your garden and make every square inch of space as productive as possible. Try it for yourself. No card details needed by casting your beady eyes over here to either follow the link or scan the QR code. I'll catch you next time.